Hey, what's up guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, Beta is a character in The Walking Dead that was introduced in Season 9. He is a member of the Whisperers, which is basically this army of people that they're basically like savages. You know, they have their own codes, sort of, but they basically act like savages. They basically act like a pack of animals, really. And they take dead flesh and wear it as skin. And they use that so that they can actually get inside of herds of walkers and blend in with the walkers and act like a walker, so that they can even not only blend in with the groups of walkers, but they can actually control them and move them around and navigate them to certain places. And if someone's shooting at them, they can hide behind the walkers and then sneak up and stab the person, stuff like that. And they talk in low voices so walkers don't notice them. And the leader is this woman named Alpha, and Beta is basically her right-hand man. He is her second in command, and he is played by the actor Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy. But he has this sort of subplot in the comics, and I don't know how much of it they are going to adapt in the show, but Beta is very particular about no one knowing what his actual face looks like. He's always wearing his mask. He's always wearing his mask that covers up a chunk of his face. You can see his eyes and his mouth, but it covers up a lot of his face, so you really can't tell what his actual face looks like. And both in the comics and in the TV show, he's always seen with his mask, and he really does not want anyone to know what he looks like under the mask. One of the Whisperers tries to take his mask off and tries to see his face, and Beta kills them. Beta is just crazy about no one knowing what his face looks like, and the only time his face is seen in the comics is when he dies. He is fighting Aaron and Jesus, who lives longer in the comics than the show, and he ends up getting shot through the head, I believe, or shot through the neck, or shot through the head. I think and right before he dies, his mask gets taken off of him, and he just freaks out and starts screaming like a maniac, and is like, "No, no, you can't see my face!" And then he gets shot. And then Jesus and Aaron are like, "Oh, that was a famous basketball player. I know that guy," and that's the plot twist. That he was a famous basketball player, or a famous sports player. I think it was basketball, but he was a famous sports player before the apocalypse, and that's why he was so crazy about no one knowing what his secret identity was. Now, in the show, they could play it out the exact same way, other than Jesus being involved, because he's already dead. But other than that, they could have that be a part of Beta's story. And he's a basketball playing celebrity, and he doesn't want anyone to know about his secret identity, and he'll kill you if you try to find out his secret identity. And right before he dies, he gets unmasked, and it turns out he was a famous basketball player. Or they could change it to something else. It doesn't have to be a famous basketball player. But they could keep the general thing about Beta's character, which is that he was a celebrity, but back before the apocalypse started, and he doesn't want people to know who he is. That explains why, like the comics, he is always wearing his mask. He's never seen without his mask on. So it makes logical sense that they would still have that part of comic Beta, where he's a celebrity that doesn't want anyone to know who he is, and that's why he's always wearing the mask. Plus, I don't think we've ever really had a lot of famous people in their world. A lot of characters that were famous people before the apocalypse started. I think Tyrese was a famous football player or something, and Deanna Monroe was a famous politician, and that's it. We haven't had a lot of characters that were famous before the apocalypse. I guess that makes sense. They're probably all dead or something, but it's realistic to have 2 or 3 celebrities in their world. Not I don't want fucking Johnny Depp. That's actually Johnny Depp in The Walking Dead. No, like fictional celebrities that don't actually exist in real life, but they existed in that fictional world, in that fictional universe, and they're still alive in the apocalypse. And Beta could be one of them. He could be someone that was a famous celebrity before the apocalypse. However, there is a possible Easter egg in Season 5, Episode 14 of Fear the Walking Dead. Daniel has a bunch of albums and records because he likes music, and while he is getting attacked, he ends up dropping them, and the walkers step on them and crush them, and Daniel has to run away. He has to leave the records and the albums behind. But one of the records has a bearded guy with a hat on it, and it looks suspiciously like Beta. It looks suspiciously like the actor Ryan Hurst. Then that could be a possible Easter egg, because in the comics, Beta is a celebrity that doesn't want people to know that he's a celebrity. So maybe instead of being a famous basketball player, Beta was a famous, country singer or music singer, and he doesn't want people to know that, so that's why he always wears the mask. So it basically fits the comics, and that explains why we've got an album of a guy that looks a lot like Beta. It's just like a little blink and you miss it Easter egg. And The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, they've done this before with little Easter eggs and little connections. Althea, who had already been interviewing a lot of people in Season 4, by the events of Season 4, she had her collection of tapes of people that she had interviewed, and one of them said Abe/Doc, which is Abraham and Eugene. So they've done those little, connections between the shows before. They've done those little Easter eggs before. So I think it's very possible that this bearded guy on this album could in fact be Beta. And it makes sense because it fits that Beta was a celebrity that doesn't want people to know that he was a celebrity. So it actually fits. Or it could just be a coincidence. It could just be that it's just some random guy and it's just a coincidence. But I think it's possible that this could actually be an Easter egg, and this could actually be a hint that Beta was a famous music singer before the apocalypse, and that's going to be why he always wears his mask. And that fits kind of his character in the comics. And maybe that's how he ends up dying. Right before he dies, he's unmasked, and someone's like, "Oh, he was a famous music singer," or something like that. So it's like the comics. Like I said, it could be untrue. It could just be a coincidence. Beta, he could just be a normal guy in a mask, and the album could just be some random singer. I don't know. But honestly, I'd like to think that they did this on purpose because it fits, and it fits Beta's comic character. So I'm hoping that they actually did this on purpose, and it is in fact an Easter egg of Beta's celebrity status before the apocalypse. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 600 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 700 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 700. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye!